Oh, what's up, everybody? It is Friday night, March 22nd. This is the NDA Podcast. I got my earpiece in the wrong ear. So I'm going to fix that really quick. Switch over to the other earpiece. Pull that one right out. There we go. Hey, so what is the NDA Podcast? This is where I work on my work. Stuff I can't stream, stuff I can't share. Because if I did, they'd kill me. No, they might. But right now, I'm working on Spawn Kills Every Spawn. I'm drawing this thing. But if I stream that wouldn't be good. Mr. Tom McFarlane would probably send me right the hell back. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna stream some old artwork I did right behind me for you all to watch, and I can watch because sometimes I forget what it is I do. So now I'm gonna be playing The Darkness. I did a Darkness 11x17 Copics commission. Oh, I don't know, about maybe 10 years ago. It's been a while. Yeah, so we're gonna put that on. It's gonna go on for a while, and I'm gonna work on Spawn. So I'm gonna bring up Little Rob here. Wait for Little Rob. There he is. He's right down there. Little Rob. All right, and then we're gonna turn on the video. So when I initially did this, I was streaming on Google Hangouts. You're gonna see a little bit of compression in the video go on for about, I don't know, a few minutes, and then it'll be fine the rest of the time. So I just caught it right before I went live, and I'm not re-rendering the video right now. So for future streams, when I replay this, I'll cut that out. But right there's my color guide. I did a little practice with the markers first. I did the pencils and ink separately, and then I made a copy, printed it out in, this time, purple. I think I was going purple for the shade because he's dark. Right now I just do everything in red. So I would do everything in red. But yeah, things have changed. Hey, Royce. Royce owns this art. Royce is in the chat now, joins us from YouTube. Royce actually owns this sucker. This is when I was still trying to draw in a manner in which I thought I'd fit in the industry. Yeah, I've since given up on this. And when I gave up on this, I lost all my clients. And then I gained a whole bunch of new ones. So I'm doing all right now. But yeah, this was still me trying to, appeal to that Top Cow Zenoscope crowd, sketch cover crowd. This one always makes Shelby happy, and I appreciate it. It's not a bad illustration, but it's definitely not me. It's just, the colors were definitely me. Colors were fun. All right, I'm gonna get to work because I got like 2 hours or so here. I can't fart around. So we'll go ahead and turn on the other monitor so I can keep that open. And then I'm going to... Rory says he likes seeing the evolution of my art. It's ever changing. I think what I'm doing now is sort of where it's going to land. There's always be some different thing I do with painting or coloring, but I really like how I'm drawing now. I think how I'm drawing now is sort of what I was trying to do in 2004 when Royce first met me. You'll see these like diamond shapes. Royce has old sketches for mine that are 20 years old. They're not good. But I was trying to push shape design in, and I just didn't have the experience to make it work, I feel. And now I feel I do. Now I feel I do. Keep that open so I can see the stream. Yeah, Royce, every now and then posts this sketch. It's pretty bad, but Royce likes it. I know what I was trying to do. I just didn't have, But this came out well. This is me, impressing my older friends who really liked Top Cow and Wildstorm art, Even though you say, well, I'm a little biased, you know. Jonathan Davis says, I wish Jackie was back in comics. Missed the dark. Yeah, darkness. Cool. Yeah, Dale Keown's a brilliant illustrator, but I still preferred Mark's version. Yeah, so it's going to go out of focus here for a little bit, folks. Just bear with me. It will come back in for the remainder of the video. This was just Google Hangouts. Like when it got into a streaming issue, it would drop compression like this. It wasn't good. But for future videos, I'll cut this out. I just noticed it right before I went to stream. It doesn't last more than a couple minutes, so don't worry about it. Rory says he's coming back in 2025. Oh, nice. Yeah, Mark's Rough Inks gave it there. I mean, look, Dale Keown's a brilliant illustrator. I just, when it comes to the darkness, I just prefer that grittiness, you know? Okay, I opened up the wrong file. I want page 18, not page 16, 17. 18. There we go. Ah, Benitez. Yeah, Benitez was dope. There we go. It's back. See? Oh, shit. It'll be back permanently in a second. Yeah, I always wanted to see Carlos Maglia. You know, take a crack at that. Okay, Photoshop. I need you to actually let me select things now, please. Thank you. Thank you, Photoshop. Carlos Maglia. Passed away in 2008. He did one issue of the Wildcats, but they never really let him draw the characters. It was bullshit. He created a character called Cyber 6. He did a Superman miniseries that was great called Infinite City. He's sort of the guy that Humberto Ramos and then kind of like styled themselves after. A lot of what I draw like kind of like matches up what he does a bit, like not intentionally, it's just like we simpatico, you know. He did a great Star Wars miniseries too once in 2000. Okay. I'll definitely trim all this little section out, I think, in the future. But we rolling with it because I'm not going to spend another hour doing that right now. There we go. Back. Carlos Meglia. These are, Jonathan asked me what type of markers I'm using. These are Copics. Copic markers. That's a, I think Y38 Buttercup. If I'm just looking at it, it's like a Buttercup. I'm mixing that with a warm 3 or warm 5 gray marker. Get the shade in. Hey, what's up, Skyrim? Detective Comics 1078, yeah. I looked at it briefly. I have to read it, but I don't know. I'll have to see what I can do. Some of the newer stuff, I feel a little weird talking about newer comics, given that I'm drawing a comic. Feels a little, you know what I mean? Feels a little good stuff. It kind of reminds me of little Sam Keith, little Simon Bisley. Just don't want to anger artists working today, you know, and be like, oh, you know it all, little bastard. Older comics I'm fine with. Like, yeah, this is dope. But if it's like rather recent, like, man, they might, you know what I mean? They might be like, this guy's an asshole. But it definitely gave me some of that Sam Keith vibes in there, you know. I think it could use some coloring, like a Richard Eisenhower, or some kind of coloring that was a little bit more painterly. But I just feel that way in general. So. Did I enjoy Roman Shrouded? Yeah, it was dope. Yeah, Uncle Jerk, Roman, Uncle Jerk, he did a 2-hour interview with Rob Schrapp, creator of Scud. Very, very good interview. Very good interview. Have you ever heard of Roachmill? Yes. I ordered it after they spoke about it. Yeah, Tom McWeeny did Roachmill. I got Roachmill comics in the early 90s. I want to say 92, 91, around there. Yeah. Good, fun stuff. My buddy Rich got them from like a garage sale or something. And it was super funny. I'm a huge fan of Tom's work, and he's super nice on Facebook and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, Skyrim. It came out in 20. Yeah, it's rather new. If it's within the last 5 years, I just want to anger people, you know. You anger people the second most wholesome. Oh man, I angered someone the other day. Like, they went into my comments on YouTube and were like, you blocked me because of who I voted for. You're not a good person. You know? And I'm like, if I blocked you, didn't you get the hint? Like, you know? So I blocked him again. Like, I was like, I got a stalker. Look at me. Did I block them for voting for someone? If they're out there promoting a fascist, rapist piece of shit, then yeah, I don't want to see them. And they keep like, you know, when I'm like, hey, you know, I don't know, maybe, you know, we shouldn't murder people at the border, and this dude's telling me how I'm wrong, you know? So I just don't want people like that in my life, man, you know? And they go, you don't know. I mean, yeah, okay, man. Yeah, I served in the army. I'm a gun owner. I don't vote for a fascist. So, you know, fascist traitor who calls veterans losers and shit. Yeah, I don't fucking like them, you know? Fucking piece of shit asshole. That's what that guy is. And the fact that anyone falls for his shit is crazy. Well, shit, we got into politics. Wait, yeah, it's fascist. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, dude. I haven't liked this guy since the early 90s, since the Central Park 5, all right? You know? And then he brought that shit back up when Rodney King got beat, you know, and he was out on TV saying things like, you know, he should have just complied and he shouldn't have been out there. He was a criminal of something. Like, I've been hearing that my whole life. Never liked that dude. So, like, hey, you know, just keep it to yourself. If you don't like me, then my politics, then don't follow my... I put it in my Instagram stories. I don't even put it in my main feed. But it's like, if you take the time to come back at me with some shit, and I don't feel like dealing with you, I don't have to deal with you. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it works. It's my social media. I don't have to deal with anybody. There's like 6-8 billion people on the planet, and I'm certain a billion artists on the internet. Follow them. You know what I mean? Just follow that guy. You know, follow those guys. You can all just y'all love one another, man. Great time. You know? But it's like, I didn't, you know. Well, like I said, dude, everyone knows where I stand now, so. If you don't think it is that way, go move to Russia and get back to me. You know? I mean, I've served all over the world, you know? I've lived in other countries for years. And it's like, no, I'm not playing this game, you know? My favorite is when my fellow vets are like, socialism, can't have Medicare for all. I'm like, hey man, you get your VA care. Well, I earned it, I'm a soldier. I'm like, well, if you're a citizen, you earn it too. Like every other country. I mean, it blew my mind when I first lived in Germany, and I was like, wait, you mean you don't go bankrupt when you go to the doctor? My dad worked for Kaiser Permanente in the 90s. He had to get a job because, you know, he needed health care. And they're the ones that basically lobbied to Reagan to, you know, consolidate all the medical stuff and then jack all the rates up in the 80s. And that's what they're bringing to the rest of the world. It's really what, you know, they want to do to the NHS in the UK. And it's just ridiculous, you know. I got a niece who was born diabetic type 1, and she has to spend like $1,000 a month on, you know, insulin for what? You know? Like, no. I just don't know how guys can grow up reading comics and watching heroes and doing the right things and then vote for Lex Luthor, you know? It baffles me. So, you know, they're always the first ones to say, if you don't like your country, leave it. Well, they can leave. Then they'll find out how the rest of the world feels about America. You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like what the rest of the world thinks about us. It's an eye opener. I've always just tried to be like, you know, man, I just try to be like, you know, what I expect people to be is what I be. I try to treat people the way I'd want to be treated, you know. So, just I'm not gonna go on stage and pretend to be mentally handicapped and mock people for it, dude. You know, it's just not happening. Yep, and Kaiser Permanente really gave us that insurance policies in the late 70s and early 80s. And so, like, the only way we can really get rid of insurance companies is to form a real political coalition to do it, you know, but we're stuck with a, and it gets complicated, dude. The constitutional, you know, the way the Constitution's set up since 1885 doesn't allow for multiple parties. So the only really way we can do it is if we have, as far as I can see within my lifetime, is if we have ranked choice voting. You know, but the federal government can abolish this overnight, you know, but we got lobbying, and the lobbying starts in the 90s, you know, and really the 80s with Reagan, and then goes full force by the 90s. I mean, if you remember, like, I'm not a big fan of Hillary Clinton, but in the 1992, she was campaigning on Medicare for All. It's the first time I ever heard of this, you know? And that's why they were calling her Queen Hillary and stuff. That's where all that stuff comes from. And when they came in, now that went away because corporations run this country. It's actually nothing new. Go watch Fugitive. The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. You're going to see that's all about Big Pharma. George Washington didn't want any party. What they did was they set it up so that winner take all in the second vote, the second rank would be vice president. But at the time, there was these anti-federalists that were going to rig the vote, basically, to fall into John Adams' favor. And so to counteract that, they came up with the Electoral College. So, you know, when I'm not streaming, I listen to a lot of historical books and teachings and lectures and stuff. And we've been stuck with that Electoral College compromise since. So, basically it. At the end of the day, they all voted for Washington anyway. But it's no different now than when they're like, oh, we got to do this because the one side's going to rig the vote. You know, now it's the Federalists we're worried about, not the Anti-Federalists. Funny how that changes. Hey, what's up, Durkaiser? I'm out here trying to figure out how I'm going to do. I've drawn Medieval Spawn's shoulder pads 3 different ways in this comic, and I'm still not settled on it. It just can't change. See, here's the thing. You can make changes to how you draw a character. You just can't do it in the issue. You can do it the next issue. You just can't make those changes in the issue. And then you run out of continuity, you know? Well, they were afraid of parliamentary rule, which you know, you can then have 10% of the country running the government. If everyone, I understand where the percentages came from. The way around it is to make sure no one loses a vote. Ranked choice voting means that you if you didn't get your first one, your vote would go to your next choice. That is how that works the best. It works on many countries use this, man. Australia uses it, and it works great. And both sides hate it, so you know it works. When does the book come out again? It comes out, man, I think in July-ish. Summer. We don't have any pre-orders up yet, so. Did I do this? Ah. I think technically I'm supposed to draw these characters the way they appear in their respective books today, but I'm not a big fan of the current medieval spawn design. I like the old school one, so I've tried to give it like a mixture of both. It's not a fan of the big, bulky medieval spawn. Modern one, I don't know. So I've definitely designed my own. No one's complained about it, so. Yeah, it's that whole like, I'm not gonna bring it up, you know. Come on, trying to wrap this element around his arm in perspective is like, sometimes it just doesn't want to go the way you want it to. Oh no, doesn't want to. Clerk. Hey, thanks, Antonio. I appreciate this. This was fun to do. A little on the bulky side. Hey, it's all good, Skyrim. It's all good, man. Feel free. Lurk mode. Lurk mode activated. Like trying to block in spikes in perspective sometimes. Sometimes you're like, oh, that doesn't look the way it should. It's like sometimes I'm doing things with the arms, like I'm crossing them over and stuff like this, and it's like when they got multiple spikes, you're like, how do you make that fit? You gotta like draw what's in front, and then kind of whatever falls behind, you have to like kind of like show where it's applicable, and then like just ignore the rest. It's get a little tricky sometimes. Antonio, all right, so you're new to the cast. So right now, as we speak, I have a Cintiq in front of me, and I am drawing Spawn Kills Every Spawn, a miniseries coming out from Todd McFarlane this summer. Behind me, I'm playing a speed video of a Copic Darkness commission I did 10 years ago for my boy Royce. Because I can't share my artwork, but I've spent like the last year working on this thing, and I just don't want to disappear off the internet, my friend. So when I can't share my artwork, I'm streaming my old artwork sped up 3 times. Sometimes 4, but this time it's 3. And I'm also recording what I'm working on, so in future casts I can share that too. So I do live art streams when I can, but right now, because I'm working on the comic, I can't share it. That's basically it. So yeah, behind me is a video of art I've done in the past. So it's already complete. And Royce owns it. He's in the chat right now. And on my desk, I'm working on brand new stuff. Right now, I'm working on a big team shot, and it's a little tricky for me. Fun part about this is I can look back and go, man, I don't draw like this anymore, right? Like I did a video today. I did a Wolverine watercolor thing, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? I couldn't figure it out. And at the beginning, I was painting in clear liquid frisket to block in white highlights. And I had never done that before or since, so I kind of forgot I ever did that. It took me a while to remember what I did. What? My buddy Shelby Robertson calls these fake streams. I just think he's jealous because I thought of it. But sometimes it goes a little out of resolution. When I recorded this, I was using Google Hangouts, and it would do that when the internet wasn't so great. But my internet's good here, so we don't have these issues anymore. There it is. See, it's back in focus. But I've been live streaming for 10 years. So all these videos are like in my YouTube channel, so I just download them and turn them into speed videos. Still have a lot of these markers though, the same ones. Your English is not very good. No problem. 10 years. I did this maybe 10 years ago. Between 8 and 10 years, somewhere around there. (2015, 2014), right, Royce? Around there. Appreciate your patience. I speak no other languages, so I sympathize. Oh, thank you. Yes, the Gambit. Yes. I did that in 2016. Definitely want to do more. When I'm not drawing a comic, I'll have more time to do X-Men art or whatever, you know. Right now I draw Spawn, which means I draw spikes and chains a lot. And no chain brushes here. No chain brushes. We draw all the chains. We put the chains into perspective and we whip them around. I literally just drew a chain right now. So I'm adding all this blue so I can add dark and shadows. Yeah. These days, I would probably do the shadow midtones first and then halo with color. I wouldn't do it quite this way. But you know, you can only go, you can never go bright. You can only go darker as you lay color down with marker. So started with bright and worked my way to shadow. Which characters are the most fun for me to draw? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I kind of draw Hulk anytime I need to practice something because, you know, it's just a big green dude. Can't really mess that up, you know? Hulk is fun. Chibi Spawn's fun to draw. I don't like this. Always find your code slang for your different art styles. What are all of them? So I got the saucy stuff, which is the splatter drippy watercolor. I was calling Copics Suave, but I just call it Copics now because people just know what that means. There's Scribbly. Scribbly's one I'm working on now where I scribble in color, right? It's more scribbly version of color pencil, but I was using ballpoint pens and pens. So if you look at that, I did that like little Cyclops sketch like last month, you know, like that's all just ballpoint pen. So, you know, there are the chunks, and that's like my version of Chibis, but super muscular. Antonio says, I buy some Copic markers and you love them, but they're very expensive in Brazil. Yeah, I bet they are. They're expensive here. There's a brand, Ohuhu, Ohuhu. They're much more reasonable. It's not all refillable, but more reasonable. I use a lot of color pencil now, though, Antonio. Like, kind of saves me a lot of money, actually. Because they last longer. Yeah, I love color pencil. It's my favorite thing to work in, probably. I need, like in this, I had to do like test practice pieces for the colors. Same with watercolor. Like I have to do a lot of practice, but not with color pencil. I can just get it straight done. next to, yeah, watercolor will get you there. I just have to do a lot of like swatching. I actually prefer to use distress ink, which is like a liquid concentrated form of watercolor, sort of. But they're fade resistant, so I prefer them, especially for doing like character commissions and stuff. The background on that gambit was distress ink. I just put it on a stamp and stamped it. Color pencil stuff. So, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I prefer it. They just take longer, you know. It's kind of the problem, but I just prefer it. Where it says the ballpoint pen stuff was also really cool, very vibrant. Interesting to see all the different mediums I use. Do you find some mix better with others? It kind of depends. I found ways to make them mix even if they're not supposed to. So you can do a watercolor base and you can do color pencil over watercolor, but you need, once it completely dries, you need to like, I found that you can airbrush clear gesso or art medium, whichever. You can thin down art medium or clear gesso, airbrush on top, and you get a different effect. Clear gesso will get you a more sandier texture, like pastel paper, and art medium will give you a smoother. Neither one looks as good as doing color pencil first, so I don't do that much. I use it for the backgrounds, like when I was doing the Batman chunks. I did the background in watercolor, then airbrushed clear gesso when I was done with that, and then did pastel over the background. I don't know if I have figured out yet. Like, I've just always been a mixed media guy, you know. That's why I always like really gravitated toward Keith's like painted works and stuff, you know, Sam Keith. So like I'm always experimenting. Like on your piece with the scud I did color pencil on the scud, and then the whole background I did with watercolor. And then I used acrylic pen over that to add like little highlights and scribbles over that ink. over that painting. So if you look where the bullet shells are, I took a turquoise Posca pen and then outlined them all with that Posca pen. It had a really cool, give it a 90s feel, I think, like, because they used a lot of like turquoise in the early 90s, you know. I think I want to do like, did you see the the saucy ones, the sketches I did last night, the videos I did with the Joker and the Batman race? Like the way I kind of I did the background for the Joker is kind of what I think would work well for portraits with color pencils. That kind of like watercolor background. Oh, look good, Rob. Always stress over medieval Spawn's face. I don't really like the way they draw him now. I'm always trying to find, like, I've done it a few times, and the body I'm fine with. It's the helmet I'm always like, I don't know if that is doing what I wanted it to do. I see what I did. The pens are nice, like the ballpoints and stuff, because you can do a watercolor base and then go right over it, you know. But I don't even know if I'll do that. I was just like, oh look, you can do this, and it does kind of work. You don't need to add much to it. Then I was just doing it straight with the ballpoint. I was like, look, you don't even need the ballpoint. You can do whatever. Yeah, I could achieve all of this with color pencil. So it's like, I mean, you can get faster coverage with marker for certain, you know, for certain. I think it kind of looks really good on tonal paper more than white paper, personally. But yeah, they're in the mail, Royce. They're on their way. They are on your way. I put them in the mail. So. I'm not adding spikes to that. You're out your mind, Rob. That will take forever. Well, I put a lot of blue in this, didn't I? I think I would have done more of a purple to cool blue transition in a lot of that armor now if I was doing it. With some burgundy. Some burgundies and little bits of pink. Like, I'm just looking at it now and I think that's kind of the way I would go. I was probably looking at that first darkness cover where like the sky is all blue. I think, you know, I was thinking about it, Royce, when you said what characters are fun to draw. And I think all of the Bruce Timm, you know, Glenn Murakami animated series designs, like between the TAS and the New Adventures. I love the New Adventures. I think all those are fun to draw. For certain. And there's a new character I've done in the book I can't announce yet. But I think it's fun to draw too. But I can't even tease what that is yet. There's a new character. That's super fun. I've also designed some characters that I'm like, why did I do that to myself? Like, I'm gonna go all 90s on this one. This isn't gonna be easy to draw. And I was like, why did I do that to myself? I mean, it's impressive when I see the pages get put together and I'm like, it's impressive. Damn, Rob, you know? That's what happens when your favorite character designs in the 90s are Medieval Spawn and Asbats, you know? It sets you up for a lifetime of pain. And Azrael, right? Like, basically all the costumes Joe Quesada designed, minus Medieval Spawn, and then was like, no one else can draw these but me, suckers. Sucks to be you. I mean, I remember a DC artist complaining at like 93 Comic Con. He was like, no one but this fucking dude can draw this shit. Like, and he doesn't even have to do it monthly. We got to do this monthly. I was like, yeah, it's tough, man. Versus maybe in the future, you can hit this character again with the color pencil. Oh, yeah, maybe. If I did, I'd probably do like a Witchblade to go with it, you know? Put my own stamp on that stuff. did I do this? You know, like when you're like, man, I love Ash, so you got to draw Ash. I just find like when I run into difficult things to do now, I just try to like bend the shapes to my will. Like, all right, so drawing it the way it looks doesn't work. I gotta change these shapes. See those feet? They're too big. I give them tiny feet now. I like the feet, Rob. I know. So you're welcome to draw this version. How we're drawing it now, I give them tiny feet. And more diamond shapes. I'm a diamond shapes guy. Diamond shapes. You know what I'll do? Check this out. Cause I know Royce. Royce is a good buddy of mine. Royce can keep his mouth shut. Because Royce was my first backer. Royce is the first guy who ever bought a commission for me at a convention in 2004. 20 years ago. I'll send Royce some pics of what I'm doing. Hey Royce, I sent you some pics of what I'm doing. Put all those on Reddit and get me in trouble, all right? Grace will see what I mean by adding personality to the mask shapes. You'll see what I'm talking about. And you all can see when you buy Spawn Kills Every Spawn issue 4, page 18, page 18, page 1-8. And you'll be like, that's what Rob was talking about. And you'll come here and tell me, and we'll all go, whoa. And I'll be like, thank you, thank you. I mean, we're not going to do Thundercats numbers, right? Who is? You know. Chains and spikes, my friend. Chains and spikes. Ooh, check this out. I'll show you one more thing, Grace. I'll show you one more thing. Let's see if I can get it to load. It loaded. Look what I did with the bullets. Grace. Ignore the first one. The first one's just some nonsense. The drawing. Look, the bullets. Yeah, right? They're rad. Okay. Stop doing that. I think that's the first mask of that dude on the bottom. I think that's the first time I've drawn it where I'm like, yeah, I like that. So far, not so much. Not so much. The body shapes, yes, but the face mask, not so much. Now I'm like, yeah, I like that. That's my beard, man. I don't know much of it, but sometimes at night, it's just like. Of course, to be fair, I've been up since 5 a.m. So you know. Thing. I know, right? Comes with the territory. A lot of ink on that paper, isn't it? Isn't it? Almost done with this stream. Am I laying in white highlights? What the white highlights? I don't do a ton of that these days. Unless I think with the color pencil I can control it. Still needs it here and there. I mean, it definitely helped this piece pop out little details and stuff. Or for sure. For sure. For sure. All right, Royce. There. Let me get it. It's on its way. hate when I do that. Alright. Okay. Okay. All right, that isn't working at all. Is it, Rob? No, it is not. No, it is not working. No. Yo, what's up, Louie? Tired, man. I'm almost done for the night. I gotta be back up in 7 hours. And gotta get going early tomorrow. Because I got a lot of work to do in the mid-afternoon tomorrow, so I gotta get all my drawing done in the morning. I'm on this really complicated page for Spawn Kills Every Spawn, issue 4, page 18. Super complicated. Hey, what's up, Chase? Hey, Chase. Chase is my barber, everybody. So if you like my hair, you got to thank him. He's the one who does that. Always make friends with your barber. That's my advice. Here, this is what I'm working on right now. I'm gonna send this to Chase. He knows how to keep a secret. Louis says, I didn't know this, but my school actually offers fine arts. So I'm going to that and say, hey, good. Yeah, that, go further with that. Oh, no. I did this several years ago, Louis. So what I do now is I'm working on a miniseries, a Spawn miniseries for Todd McFarlane. It's called Spawn Kills Every Spawn. And I can't stream nothing, right? Because, give away the whole comic. So while I work on it, I'm streaming art I did in the past. I've been streaming on YouTube for like 10 years, and it saves all my videos. So I've just been downloading them and making speed videos to play behind me while I work. Basically it. Right? So you don't have to wait 12 hours to see how this turned out. I got lots of art tips, yeah, and I got audio commentary for pieces I've done. So, and I got 10 years of live streams. Yeah, I'm trying to make all them spikes work, Chase. Like make a move. Make them move. Took me a long time to work out his face mask because I wanted to be able to have like attitude. Tough. Yeah, please do. It's all on YouTube, Louis. So I'm multi-streaming right now on Twitch and Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you. See, this is why I like to stream, Louis. And I can't let I can't let my work keep me from doing that. So this was a solution I came up with like a week ago. I was like, I gotta stream, man. I gotta stream. Yeah, Chase. So Chase is on YouTube right now. He can't see Louis, but I can see all. I have Oculus Eye, right? Oculus Eye. If you know that reference. Ingo Bradley. Like, this will all get way easier for me the more I draw these characters, but some of these characters I've only drawn once, so I'm like, I don't know how to make these characters move, man. And I'm like This needs to be one of the coolest versions of these characters ever. It can't just be, I drew it for the book. That's how I always feel, man. Louis says, it's pretty epic, though. I didn't know you could stream to YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, you can definitely do that. And you can put videos behind you, too, if you know how to do that. And check this out, Louis. On top of that, I'm recording my screen separately to a hard drive. For future videos. See him. Yeah. Luckily, my rig is got enough memory and CPU to do it. Sometimes I get a little sputter on the drawing, but not much. Ah, thanks, Chase. Yeah. It was tricky to get all that stuff to work, you know? I know I want to have a people sketching YouTube channel where you go out in public and sketch people from a park bench or interview someone, hear their story. Oh, that's awesome. I like doing caricatures. I just don't like doing them at like for money at carnivals and stuff because you got to draw like 15 an hour. I'm more like a 20-minute ahead sketch kind of guy, you know. But I do caricatures like on my own, you know, like I'll use photo reference and I put them on my Instagram and stuff. So I'm hoping to, once I get like, I got a little behind schedule on this book because I had some health issues, but now that I'm getting caught back up, once I'm caught back up on the 5th issue, I'm gonna start doing like sketches at breakfast or sketches at dinner, where we can like I can put up a head reference or photo stock stuff, and we can all draw it, right? Or I'll go grab a photo stock, you know, picture of some buildings and stuff, and we'll draw it, you know. And you can all put in the comments and share with me. You know, you want to do realistic portraits and full bodies, awesome. Chase, you drinking coffee right now? Decaf, Chase. Decaf, always decaf. Always decaf, Chase. No caffeine. Told you I quit caffeine over a year ago. Going on almost 2 years now. I got palpitations one time. I'm like, I'm out. Decaf is where it's at. Yeah. You know, I always drank coffee my whole life. Never had an issue with it. And then I got palpitations. I'm like, you know what? I'm old. I'm older now. So we're done with that. We're done with that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like Nathan Fowlkes' work. If you're familiar with Nathan Fowlkes, he does a lot of good. I mean, well, he's known for his landscape painting and stuff. He's a DreamWorks concept artist, but he does do realistic charcoal renderings of photo faces and stuff. Super good. Not what I'm into, but I love looking at it. It's super awesome. Definitely quit tobacco, Louis. Definitely do that. I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. My mom could. My dad did in the 80s. And, you know, he was better for it. A really close friend of mine growing up had a stroke when he was 37. I gotta assume the tobacco didn't help. I'm dabble in some environmental concept. Yeah, check out Nathan Fowkes. Fowkes, my friend. He does it all. He's a master. When I want to be inspired, that's who I check out. You know? Yeah, I bet. I'm an empathetic guy, man. I get it. You know what I mean? Totally. One day at a time. He says he's trying to switch to uncaffeinated tea. I don't know, man. That decaf coffee I gave you is pretty good, dude. You know, like it has the taste. You know, once you get past I only had the headache, the lack of caffeine headache for a week, and I just took Tylenol, man. It really wasn't a big deal. I mean, I get tired at night, but you know, I just work tired. What up, Bloopy? Hey, I saw you just got done with your first big commission. Congratulations! For nighttime, right? Bloopy's on Twitch, Chase. You can't see Bloopy. It was decaf? Yeah. Wait, no, wait. Nope, the stuff I gave you was regular. No, you're right. You're right. Never mind. I drink the decaf version. Sorry. You should just give the caffeinated to Chris. Let him run around in circles. Alrighty. We're done! The video looped. The video looped. That was that. If you'd like to see a nice high-res version of this, I got it up on my DeviantArt. And I'll put prints up tomorrow. I'm rebuilding my store. I used to have an Etsy shop for like 10 years, and then Etsy decided to just take 40% of everything and didn't tell me. And of all things, man, a long-time fan of mine, this has never happened before, but a long-time fan of mine bought $900 worth of merch, right? And Etsy, someone who follows me, right? They didn't come through the Etsy ecosystem. They went to the store, they bought the stuff. I was like, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Etsy took $360 of that, 40%. So after I got done shipping and printing and packing and taxes, I kept maybe $180 out of a $900 order. It doesn't seem fair, you know? So, yeah, Bloopy. So I got the store up. I will have it up and open till Halloween, and then it will shut down from Halloween till Valentine's Day because they jack up the prices for shipping and whatnot. So I'm gonna get this stuff up tomorrow. Every day I'm putting up new stuff. So, and then that's where I'll put up original art too. I got tons of sketches I do, and I'm putting up little like packs of art and sketches I do for like $40, stuff like that. You know, so if you're ever like, yeah, I'd like to own something, nothing too expensive, you can do that too, you know. But all right, guys, I'm going to get to sleep because I got to be back up in about 7 hours, and I gotta get going again. So, Louie, thank you so much. And if you're on Instagram or anything else, Louie, man, definitely give me a follow so I can follow you back. You know what I mean? Keep track of your fine art career while you're in college and everything, dude. For real. You know what I mean? Don't be a stranger. Bloopy, thank you for stopping by. Chase, as always, thanks for hanging out. I always appreciate all the lurkers. That's how I roll. A lot of time I just lurk. I rarely talk. I talk on Shelby's. I talk on Uncle Jerks. Other than that, I'm a lurker. So I see you. I see you, lurkers. And I will see you, lurkers, all tomorrow. You have a good night. Peace. Show is over. It is time to go to sleep.